Your spiritual gift in your life will recede all the way back to the natural. All the way. And I'm a little bit ashamed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's what happened here. That's what happened here. When we first started here 2.5 years ago, man, this place was popping. This place was popping. I mean, people getting saved. I mean, in 2 years, we led 900 and some people to the Lord. I mean, we had healings, cancer healings. We had...
Marriages restored.
Marriages restored. A guy was dead at a restaurant. The Lord used me to raise him from the dead. God was just doing these phenomenal miracles through our ministry here. And then we started to kind of just get lax in it. And we started to do some, I don't know, it's like new people were coming in, and for some reason I felt compelled to, let's, we need to just do some milk for a while. Get these new people up to par. And then it just never stopped. It was like there was always new people. And so it was always milk. And so the gifts weren't being used, and we weren't operating the same way. And before you know it, everybody here, they didn't even know we were ever even spirit-filled. They didn't have a slap to the face. But because we became lax in it, we receded back into the natural. There wasn't anything that separated us from the world even. Let's just go sit on the pew and listen for a while. God wasn't doing anything here. He wasn't moving, and the reason was because we stopped letting him move.
Yes.
We quenched it. If you neglect the supernatural, welcome back to the natural. A declining fire needs a deliberate fanning. Revelation 2:7. Somebody turn there. Who's there?
Amen.
I knew it. Go ahead.
He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. To him who overcomes...
Stop right there. This is an example. I just want you to hear that first part. This is an example. That it's all through Revelation. God speaks to those who want to hear him.
Yes, he does.
That is an example of, he literally says, he that wants to hear me, let him hear me. Those who don't want to hear me, they're not going to. So you can literally make the choice of, you know what? I'm here in the church, but I'm just here in the church. I'm not here to hear God. I'm here because this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go to church. And that is a waste of your life. That is a waste of your life.
That's right.
Another friend of mine, when I was young, in the supernatural, told me, he said, you will never understand the Bible by your intellect. Because I'm an intellectual. I like to read. I've got hundreds and hundreds of books I love to read. At our office, I'm the guy that's always like knee deep in the paperwork and the computer work and the getting it done and the numbers, and I'm like, let's break out the numbers. What do the numbers say? My brain works that way. But you will never understand the Bible until you understand Revelation, not the book. Revelation in here. Until God starts to reveal it to your heart, you will understand the mysteries of God. You can know that book front to back and can quote it front to back, But it does not mean that you know the Word.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't mean that you know God.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because God is not about the intellect. He's about what He's revealing to your heart.
Mm.
And you know just as much as I know, how many people have had this happen? You can read a verse today and read it 2 years from now, and it'll mean something totally different to you because God is now revealing it to you in a different way.
Yes. Yes.
We understand and discern and speak supernaturally only in one way, by God's Holy Spirit, not by our natural minds. Matthew 14:25. Let me just read this. I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to tell you. So, they're out on the water, right? And it's the fourth watch. Does anybody know what that means? The fourth watch, what does that mean?
4th hour of the day or afternoon.
Early in the morning.
Okay.
You know the amazing thing, you know what, a lot of the miracles in the Bible, or a lot of the times of God praying and seeking God's face, or Jesus praying and seeking God's face, have you ever noticed it's like really super early in the morning? That's why I get up early. I don't know why. I just get up early in the morning. That's when I pray. I like to pray like Jesus prayed. That's when I seek God. It's early in the morning. That's why I stay up all night, because if I go to sleep, I won't wake up. But anyway, Peter looks out on the water, and what does he see?
Jesus walking.
Jesus walking on the water. He's a pimp. Jesus is straight up walking on the water. Can you imagine checking that deal out? I mean, you're like all rubbing your eyes and be like, man, really? Pinching yourself? Am I asleep? Did I roll through some LSD? Did somebody slip me some, I don't know. What is going on here? Jesus is walking on the water. And guess what happens? Somebody tell me what happens. Peter says what? He says, can I come out there? And Jesus says, come on with it. And so what does he do?
He looks at him and he starts to walk toward him.
He looks at Jesus and he steps out on the water in faith. And he walks. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Just the excitement, the butterflies, the intensity, the thought process that had to be going through Peter's head. I can't imagine. I can't imagine it every step he took. Oh man, that had to be so awesome. But then what happens next?
He takes his eyes off.
Yeah, he stops concentrating on Jesus and he starts looking around him. So what he does is he stops looking at the supernatural, which is Christ, and he starts to look at the natural around him. And instead of listening to Jesus, the supernatural, he starts listening to the natural.